You're live, Leonard.
Yeah,
We gotta get your notes up, right?
I'll get them.
Okay, well, you're
You're
live
not
now.
going to get them there.
I'm gonna try.
You can't. It's frozen. I mean, now it's...
Well, say hi to the chat room while I get you set up. You're on the air right now. Say hi to Danny Fuller.
Hello, everybody. We're just trying to get the chat room set up, so... Just trying to get everything...
Everybody.
I'm saying hi to everybody. What do you want me to say?
Just say hi.
I said hello to everybody.
Okay.
My internet connection went... All right, here you go. Everything is back. Sorry about that. And thank you for helping me, because it was a big help. Okay? It was a big help. Okay? All right, so here we go. Anybody in the chat room? Good morning to Danny Fuller. Good morning to James Calpion. I know Greg Gallo was here before, so we'll see what happens. Waiting for orders to refresh for sound. Ha, ha, ha. Danny Fuller, Penny has got you trained. Okay, and away we go, and let's get it. Whoa, let's get it rolling. I decided to, does anybody want football notes? Outstanding football notes this week. I'll tell you, give an example of the kind of football notes that I may be able to put up. The Vikings, by the way, if you're betting in football, the Minnesota Vikings are now the National League's worst in Week 2 since 2000. So Week 2, the Vikings are not a very good team. The last time they won in the second week was in 2016. The last time the Vikings won their second game of the season, 2016, Sam Bradford was the quarterback, and he threw for over 200 yards, 180 yards to Stephon Diggs, okay, as they beat Green Bay. The Broncos are the NFL's best in Week 2. So the Vikings are the worst in Week 2. The Broncos are the best in Week 2. And and last night marked the fourth time the Eagles have recorded 250 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns in a game since the start of last season, including the playoffs. And the rest of the National Football League has 2 games combined over that stretch. Eddie Ekman is here, Malpal, SM King Turd, Star Dog. We're just getting Unholy Toledo, just getting everything set. We're doing a couple of Heisman Trophy winner, Sam Bradford. There you go. Good morning, class, says Star Dog. And Justin Jefferson eclipsed 5,000 career receiving yards. He reached the mark in 52 games. Lance Allworth, one of my favorite offensive players, number 13, Lance Allworth. Last night, Jefferson's 5th career game with 150 yards. And there you go. Okay, and the first quarterback in the National Football League to throw for 700 yards on 70% completions in his first 2 games and lose both, Kirk Cousins. Okay, good morning, everybody. Triple Play is here. And now we'll switch over to baseball. Data Premier, DK Lush, good morning to you all. 9-inning Major League Baseball games, finishing in under 2.5 hours. Now, in 2021, there was 46 games finished under 2.5 hours. However, this year, 569 games. That's 2.5 hours. How about 2 hours? 9-inning Major League Baseball games, finishing under 2.5 hours. Unbelievable. Okay? So, 569. 569. And there you go. Okay? So, and of course, yesterday we talked about the Baltimore rookie, Heston Kjerstad. He was on his way to Baltimore. He made it to Baltimore. Ryan Mountcastle's shoulder didn't require a trip to the injured list, but Kjerstad, who hit 310. A lot of you have been asking about him. I know Eddie Heckman has. He's collected 21 homers, 29 doubles, in 8 trips to the to 2 levels so far. So significant move, the promotion of Kierstead. And can the Orioles actually... Kierstead at 24. He was taken in the 2nd overall pick in 2020. He had myocarditis. That prevented him from taking part in any official game action. Then he split some time. This year he's gone through AA and AAA. And he had a combined... he had a 303 average. Daniel Ferrara is here. The chat room is loaded with chat people, including the great King Hap. Laura is here. Leonard Donaldson, not far behind. Merrill and Mitchell, good morning to you all. National League wildcard race, the Diamondbacks lose, the Marlins lose, the Rays lose, the Cubs, the Phillies, and the Giants all pick up 1/2 game by not playing. How about that? Not playing. Let's get through some tidbit. Mitch Keller pitched yesterday, 8 innings of 2-hit ball, and the Pirates beat Washington 2-0. Mitch Keller struck out 7 and walked 1. He's 27 years old. He improved to 3-1 with a 3.07 ERA in his last 7 starts. So Mitch Keller is, he is fantasy relevant, and I think he should be drafted next year. You won't have to pay a lot for him. He'll be an end-game pick, that's for sure. But if we're taking notes, you got to be careful of Mitch Keller, okay? And Matt Veerley hit a grand slam. Reese Olson pitched 6 sharp innings. The Detroit Tigers overwhelmed the Cincinnati Reds 8-2. Akil Baddoo, he's had a very quiet season. Akil Baddoo went deep in Detroit. They salvaged the finale of the 3-game series. Kerry Carpenter, Spencer Torkelson, each drove in a run. Olson has yielded 3 runs in 19 2/3 innings in his 3 September starts. So think about it. This is Reese Olson. And I'm telling you, he's going to be part of the overhaul that's going to happen in Detroit. Detroit's one of the teams that I happen to really will watch big time next year. Don't know a lot about Reese Olson, but who's ever on the phone obviously does, okay? But Reese Olson, good-looking pitcher, okay? So we'll see what happens there. Who was it?
Nobody.
It was nobody, and that's who we get. He's 24 years old. He didn't allow a hit until the 6th inning when Jake Fraley singled to open the game. Reese Olson then surrendered a home run to Spencer Steers 2 batters later, and he got through it. That impressed me. Got his 4th win. Reese Olson, you don't know too much about him. He's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 3 consecutive starts, going at least 6 innings on each occasion. He's also recorded at least 7 strikeouts in 3 of the last 5 outings. So etch this name in your kitchen table. His name is Reese Olson. There's Lance Allworth, number 19. Okay? Lance, what did I say? 13? Yeah, number 19. Lance Allworth, okay? Priceless. There you go. In the house. Boston Paul's in the house. Good morning to Boston Paul. Leonard Donaldson, Laura, boom.
King Hap.
And King Hap,
How
of
can
course.
You say boom without saying King Hap?
That's right. Trevor Story came back and hit a 3-run homer just to see. We were talking and just about giving up on him. Tanner Houck pitched 6 effective innings, and Boston climbed out of the basement when they fired their general manager, and they beat the Yankees 5-0 in an opener of a doubleheader after the Red Sox fired Chaim Bloom. Tyrone Taylor initially was ruled out, but the call overturned, as Milwaukee has won 3 or 4 against the Marlins, extended their set. Milwaukee's tough. That pitching staff, they won 3 or 4 against the Marlins this week. They extended its NL Central lead to 4.5 games. The Marlins scored only 5 runs in the entire series. Not good. And for the Mets, Cody Singer struck out 10 over 6 scoreless innings. Jeff McNeil and Jonathan Araz homered. And the Mets continue to play the spoiler, 11 with an 11-1 rout of Arizona. Arizona, 2.5, not playing good. 2.5 games behind the Cubs in the wild card spot. But I'll tell you what, Senga, along with, had 2.95 ERA. Only 4 rookies in the history of the Mets, Seaver, Kuzman, Matlack, and Dwight Gooden, have qualified for the ERA title with a sub-300 ERA. Luke Raley hit a tie-breaking homer, and Tampa and their remarkable bullpen. The Rays win the opener. I'll tell you what, they're a game behind Baltimore. And the relievers for Tampa, and we'll talk a little more about them, as Greg has made it into the chat room. The relievers for Baltimore, 34 innings without an earned run. And then, of course, the Orioles called up prospect Heston Kjerstad from the minors, made his debut, but he struck out as the pinch hitter. And then finally, Kyle Farmer hit a 2-run homer, capped the Minnesota 4-run 7th inning. Kenta Maeda, 7 strong innings, and the Twins routed the White Sox 10-2. And Royce Lewis with a solo home run. So those are the absolute hot. Ronald Acuna has hit 37 home runs and stole 66 bases so far. There are 16 games left. All right, let's go to the chat room. Anybody in the chat room think he will be a 40-70 guy? What do you say, Greg? Thanks for making it in. Laura,
how many games left?
16 games left, okay?
Oh, my God.
Malpal is here. 16 games to go. Andrea says he will make the 40-70 mark, okay? And take a look at the chat room. Are we going to make the 30 mark in the chat room today? Because we are damn close. Mitchell, Merrill, they're both here. Tommy Johnson is here. We got to get White Sox Gal in this place, okay? We're getting close. Come on. Call up your friends and neighbors and cousins and all your uncles, and let's get them all in the chat room today. We're close. It's Friday. Tomorrow we have a special day. A special day tomorrow. It's supposed to be Saturday baseball. It will not be. What it will be, we won't know until it's over, to tell you the truth, okay? So we'll see, okay? In the last 15 years, half of the 30 Major League Baseball teams finished over 500, and in 2017, over 12 teams were over 500. Currently, there are 18 teams over 500. And on this day, if you want to go back, Denny McClain threw a complete game and had 10 strikeouts. He earned his 30th win. Will there be anybody in the major? Is that a record that will not be broken? Will anybody get their 31st win in Major League Baseball, okay, ever again? McClain ended up with 31 wins in 1968, the last pitcher in Major League Baseball history to record a 30-win campaign. Now, 1968. Okay. There's a lot of talk, and you know I read a lot, newspapers and articles, a lot of talk that Mike Trout would waive his no-trade clause. He would do everything he can to join either the Yankees or the Phillies. Wow.
Who says that?
Mike Trout says he would do whatever he wants out. He would waive his no-trade and other clauses to be a Yankee or a Philly. Wow. Unbelievable, okay? Danny Fuller, thank you to Penny for keeping Danny propped up, okay? Now, Acuna, by the way, well, forget Acuna. Let's talk about the Braves. Let's talk about Acuna. 37 home runs, 66 RBIs. In 1923, the Braves as a team had 32 home runs and 57 stolen bases. Wow. That is pretty amazing. Royce Lewis went 1 for 4 with a solo home run, an additional RBI, and a walk. 10-2 win over the White Sox. Lewis is a player. Now, how much are we paying for Royce Lewis? How much do we pay for Lewis? I'll throw out a number, and I'll say $17 on Royce Lewis. He gave the Twins a 2-0 lead with a fourth-inning solo home run. He added another RBI with the bases loaded, walk in the ninth. He has just 2 hits and 15 at-bats after his past 4 games, but both of his hits were home runs, and he's racked up 5 RBIs during that span. Royce Lewis is hitting 300, 13 homers, 46 RBIs, 32 runs, and 5 stolen bases with just over 200 at-bats. How much are we paying for Royce Lewis next year? Guess Sue. Good morning to you. Okay? Chris Gallo, Daniel Ferrara, Danny Fuller, Eddie Heckman, D.K. Lucius right here. Okay? How about that? James Caplion, Kenny Flamia, King Happ. You got Leonard Donaldson, you got Laura, you got Malpal, Merrill, and Mitchell, SM King Turd, Star Dog, Triple Play on Only Toledo. Look at this crowd. It's in Boston, Paul. Look, what a great crowd. Thank you all. Okay? There you go. Wow. Tommy Johnson says the Pirates surpassed the win total that Vegas projected for them. Okay? Okay, how about that? Landscaping is now on the phone. Good point, okay, the landscapers. They moved. I'd rather see them on the phone, okay? We'll see, okay? And Chaim Bloom has a punchable face. The White Sox home games in 2023, they won more than 5. One game's lost. White Sox home games in 2023. Games won by more than 5 runs. One game won by more than 5 runs at home. And 11 games lost by more than 5 runs at home. And Thursday, we told you about Thursdays. Well, they lost again. They're 0-9 on Thursday in home games. They've been well over a year since they won a home game on Thursday. So let's see. Maybe next year. SM King Turd, good morning to you. How you doing, my boy? Nice to see you in the chat room. Eddie Caprion, Data Premier, Greg, great to see everybody. We got 28 in the chat room. Get Taco in here. Get Big Al in here. And you know what? We'll have it. We'll have it. We'll have our 30. All right. Andy, are you in the chat room?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We got 28 in the chat room, trying to push for 30. We need 2 more. Get that Taco Man in here. Teams with the most division titles since 1991, the Braves have 21. The Dodgers have 15. Have 13. The Yankees have 15. The Braves have hit 55 more home runs than any other team. We talked about that yesterday, 282 to 227. That would be but here's the thing. That's the 4th largest difference between number 1 and number 2, behind the White Sox, the last time they had a large difference, 59. It was the Yankees over Cleveland. Okay? And since the mound, and here's what we're talking about today. Best pitcher in the National League. Since the mound was moved to its current distance in 1893, Blake Snell is the first pitcher with 160 strikeouts and under 20 runs allowed in a 20-game span in a single season. That's right, Blake Snell doing a great job. First pitcher with he across multiple. The only other player with 160 strikeouts and under 20 runs in a 20-game span was Pedro Martinez. Now, Blake Snell. Here's a negative on Blake Snell. That's turned into a positive for Blake Snell. Blake Snell is 10th in innings pitched in the National League this year and has faced a total of 7 batters after the 6th inning. I'll say that again. He's only faced 7 batters after the 6th inning. And he's 10th in innings pitched in the National League. He walks a lot of batters. Walks per 9, 5.1. He's last in the National League.
Wow.
And yet he could be the Cy Young. But he is one of the few pitchers I've seen who actually uses walks, knows how to use. It's not just the intentional walk. He'll walk a batter if the situation warrants it. He'll walk a batter if he feels better. Am I supposed to be wearing my headset?
No.
No. Okay. Blake Snell, not Smell. Earned runs by Blake Snell in each in each start this year. I'm going to just read them off real quick. 3, 4, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2. Are you kidding me? 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 1, 1. There's nothing. He's had 1 6-run game and 1 4-run game in each one of his starts, but he doesn't go a lot of innings. For fantasy baseball, his last 20 starts, he's got a 1.31 ERA, a 12.5 strikeout per 9. First pitcher in Major League Baseball history to have a sub 1.5 ERA, and out there he's been solid. But a 5 or 6 inning starting pitcher, here's a question to the chat room. Now I need answers. This is an intelligence question. Should a 5 or 6 run starting pitcher, be a Cy Young Award winner? Should a 5 or 6 inning pitcher? I'll say it clearly. I'm a little whacked out. Blake Snell has been solid. He's a 5 or 6 inning starting pitcher. Now, should that pitcher, number 1, command big money, and number 2, should he be the Cy Young Award winner? Or does that have no difference, the amount of innings he goes? He's been solid. Pitchers with 150 or more strikeouts and fewer than 20 runs allowed in a 20-game span. Blake Snell, Pedro Martinez. Not a lot of pitchers do it. And Snell continues his Cy Young campaign against the first-place Dodgers. He now has a 1.31 ERA over his past 20 starts. Wow. Now, who's going to play shortstop for the Marlins? All right, so the Marlins look like Turk Wendell's set to depart. They'll be left with internal options, John Birdie, Garrett Hampson, Jacob Amaya. Birdie has hit 253. He's not a starter. He can provide value with his legs. He stole 41 bases last year, but only 14 this year. Garrett Hampson. Now, I have been watching Garrett Hampson. You have been watching Garrett Hampson. Many of us expected Garrett Hampson to be something. And here's what he is.
Like 10 years worth of watching him.
He's had decent results in 2023. But it's only got a 398. He's got a 398 batting average on balls in play, and that's given him a big lift. His career batting line of 242. He's considered strong with the glove, but he's best suited to be a multi-positional player. So the question is, will Garrett Hampson emerge as the Marlins clearly need a shortstop? So monitor that very carefully. And if you have Garrett Hampson, I wouldn't be so quick to just let him go. Next year, he could be a pretty good player. Now, David Stern already is at work for the Mets that claim Anthony Kay, a former Met, and I criticized the Mets when they lost him, so now I should be criticizing the Mets not criticizing, but applauding because they got him back. So they claimed Anthony Kay off waivers 4 years after trading him for Marcus Stroman. Okay? And we'll see. Hard to believe that he's really going to be anything. Now, as far as pitchers go, keep an eye. Spencer Turnbull. Okay? Spencer Turnbull. Now, I have documented this many times. I like the Tigers for next year, okay? And Spencer Turnbull is a pitcher that I would be really looking at for next year. Now, Turnbull last night was going to pitch, and I just got to take a look and see if he did start. Spencer Turnbull did not start last night, but they were talking about starting him. But Spencer Turnbull's a pitcher. I believe he's starting tonight. I am going to play Spencer Turnbull. They were hoping he got to the mound yesterday. The pitcher that I'm very much afraid of, and it's just a gut feeling. Now, Tyler Glasnow, since June 25th, Tyler Glasnow, 2.58 ERA, 29% strikeout to walk rate. And I'm just not comfortable with Tyler Glasnow. Sometimes you get these feelings. I'm not going to go, let's put it this way. I don't think Tyler Glasnow is going to go cheap next year. But I will not be on the bidding for an expensive Tyler Glasnow. Okay? And the Dodgers for the weekend series against Seattle, Bobby Miller, 9-3 with a 3.98, is going to go against George the Animal Kirby. You got Clayton Kershaw is going to go against Bryce Miller, and then Logan Gilbert goes on Sunday, to be determined, will be against them. The last Major League players to have 71 or more extra base hits in any 103-game span, Pujols, Brian Dozier, Jose Ramirez, and Rafael Devers, and Corey Seager. Corey Seager. All right? Extra base hits. His 2023 OPS is now higher than Shohei Ohtani. Corey Seager. How about that one? If he wouldn't miss so many games, he'd be a star. The most games started by a catcher and leading off, Adley Rutschman, 24 games. Everybody else has 7. And it's unbelievable. And Trey Turner, first player in MLB history to have at least 11 homers and 11 multi-hit games over 13. If he played a full season the way he's played the last 4 weeks, he would have 98 home runs and 35 stolen bases. Woo! How about that, DK Lush? That's Trey Turner if he played the rest of the year like he's playing now. Okay? And Tampa, the Tampa relief pitchers have allowed 0 earned runs in their last 34 innings. And watch out for this kid Fairbanks. He struck out 1 batter in a scoreless inning, picked up a save over Minnesota on Monday. He hit 1 batter, still finished off with a 7-4 win. He has struck out 12 batters, converted 5 straight. Fairbanks, his fastball was 100. He only threw 1 pitch that wasn't 100, it was 99. And American League Rookie of the Year, I'll give this to the chat room. Who do we like as Rookie of the Year? We like Gunnar Henderson, who's first in home runs, first in RBIs, second in OPS, or Tristan Casas. Who would you vote for Rookie of the Year? Casas or Gunnar Henderson? I'm asking the chat room to vote on that, and please put it in the chat room, okay? You got that? And next year, the free agent class, it's already exciting. Next year's free agent, this year's free agent class, Ohtani, Bellinger, Snell, Aaron Nola, Josh Hader. And then there's a decent drop-off, but still, that will make it for a very exciting offseason, and that's one of the reasons that we will be broadcasting every day, giving you all the information that you could ever want to know. And how about that, okay? All right, let's go over some box scores. I really want to thank everybody. We did a little different today. A little different. Gave you a couple of notes to start the podcast. Then we went into our regular notes, and we're just having a ball because I'll tell you what, if there's anything you believe we should be doing different, it's not criticizing. You're not criticizing me when you tell me I think you should do this different, I think you should do more than that. You are coaching me, and everybody needs a coach. So let me know. We tried stuff a little different today. I know it's subtle differences, but let me know if there's anything that...
What did you do different today, Leonard?
I'm not going to go over it, okay? If you heard it, fine. If you didn't hear it...
I didn't hear it.
Okay, then you don't...
It was great.
It was great. Okay, let's go to the... Let's go to the box score. Let's go to the box. We didn't do the box. I like the box scores. Box scores give you something that nobody else does. Nationals and the Pirates, we told you about Mitch Keller, but the box score, Reynolds, Sowinski's batting .218. His name, I was surprised. I saw the .218 this morning. I thought he was batting a lot higher. So Sowinski's going to hurt your batting average. He will not hurt your on-base percentage, which is a .342 on-base percentage, and 25 home runs for Sowinski. Jonah Gray, 6 10 strikeouts. He's not a bad pitcher. You could take him. C.J. Abrams going into the tank. His on-base percentage is .303. And Joey Meneses went over 2. Always got to mention that, right? But Abrams got caught stealing for the 4th time, got picked off. So be careful of Abrams. And I'll tell you again, do not take Abrams over Soto. The Reds and the Tigers, with the Tigers really hurting the Reds by beating him. Verling, I told you, hit a grand salami. Torkelson got hit. Torkelson's batting .235. That's about what he'll hit next year, as we're spending a lot of time preparing us for next year. Akil Baddoo hit his 10th. Verling hit his 9th. All right, Javier Baez, 12th stolen base. Okay, we talked about Olsen. On the other side in Cincinnati, what a mess. A mess. You got Steer, hit a home run. He's having a great season. Spencer Steer, .265, .354, doing just great. And Joey Votto's batting .198. You got Adam Wainwright, you got Joey Votto, 2 very popular players, but it's time to take a seat. Friedel hit a home run. Steer hit his 21st home run. De La Cruz stole his 28th base. So, but you got Joey Votto, who should be sitting down, taking a bow, and let's see what they do with Adam Wainwright. Yankees and the Red Sox. The Red Sox shut the Yankees out. Trevor Story, we talked about him yesterday, hits a home run. Who do you like better, Casas or the Baltimore guy, Harrington at short, for Rookie of the Year? Okay. Chris Gallo says, I believe when Chaim Bloom traded away Mookie Betts, he was done. Right. Okay. Lewis, $12 to $15 player. Lewis, $19 player. Whoa. That's pretty good. Who's badge 714? That's Sergeant Friday. Okay. I'll tell Unholy Toledo really up on it, Gleyber Torres got another 2 hits. He's batting .272. Very hard guy to trade because he does so much. And Esteban Florial, what'd he do? He stole the base. Woo! How about that one? His first stolen base. He's batting leadoff. Only batting .182 with a .308 on-base percentage. But Florial, in my opinion, and you'll hear it many times, He looks terrific, but he's not. Simple as that. Marlins and the Brewers, Tyrone Taylor, who I happen to like for next year. Tyrone Taylor. Berger went 2 for 4 for the Marlins. He's batting .239. And as I said, Garrett Hampson's hitting .281 with a .345. You got to watch him. He might be the shortstop next year. For the Brewers, Adames, another 0 for 2. You just don't know what to expect from Adames. But Tyrone Taylor, 2 for 3. Scored a run. He's only batting .229 with a .260 on-base percentage, but I think he's going to be a player next year. So it's not just picking up the guys who are hitting. It's not just picking up the names who you expect. We're looking closely. Adrian Hauser, 5 innings, 2 earned runs. And Yuri Perez, 4 2/3, 7 strikeouts. 4 2/3 for Yuri Perez, who's now 5 wins and 5 losses. Okay, making our way through the box scores. Sincere thanks. Don't forget, if you've got any coaching out there, let me have it. It would be much appreciated. Much appreciated. The Diamondbacks and the Mets. Cody Senga is really surprised and has pitched a lot better than I thought he would pitch. 10 strikeouts, 6 innings. He does have a .295 ERA for Cody Senga. McNeil hit his 9th. Alonso got a couple of hits, but not the big one that we're looking for. And for the Mets, they're just rolling away. Brandon Nimmo got 2 hits. Alvarez, 1 for 4. Vientos, 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored. So he's going to get a lot of playing time. A lot. And, of course, for Arizona, Clay Carroll's got a weak arm in the outfield. So that's going to be held against him if he doesn't hit. That's going to happen. So you got to watch. You got to be careful. Tommy Pham, another hit, 1 for 2, batting at .267. Yeah, so Clay Carroll, as good as what?
Corbin.
Yeah, Corbin Carroll. As good as he is, he's got a very weak arm. So you got to monitor that. It could really wind up hurting him. It could. Okay? Rangers and Tampa. Toronto. Corey Seager, 3 for 4. He's hitting .344 with a .406 on base. He is the all-star shortstop. Anybody else have a shortstop who you think is better? Davis Schneider, cool it off. 2 strikeouts, 0 for 4. Okay, Bo Bichette back in the lineup, batting second. So it's good to see that. Guerrero hit his 22nd home run. Kevin Gausman, only 4 2/3. 6 walks. He's walking a lot of batters.
Wow.
Right? I will watch him in the spring. If he seems to have his control, comes up with that. It was Gausman against Eovaldi, and both pitched poorly. So you got to be very careful next year about your number 3, number 4 pitchers. You just don't want them to hurt you. And Gausman and Eovaldi are very risky picks. They throw in a lot of clinkers. That's for sure. You got the Orioles and Tampa. And we told you the Tampa bullpen has been lights out. Fairbanks got his 24th save. He's a stud. Every pitch he throws is 100 miles an hour. Kyle Bradish lost his 7th game. He's 11-7. O'Hearn hit his 13th homer. No big deal there. And Henderson, the shortstop, 1 for 4 with a home run. What's his first name? Gunnar Henderson, 26 home runs. He's got to be the Rookie of the Year over Tristan Casas. Anybody disagree? Savali, 5 innings, 8 strikeouts. He's okay. But he blows up a little bit too much. And Luke Raley, having quite a year. 2 for 3, hitting .251, .336 on base percentage. But he hit home run number 19 for Luke Raley. And finally, Got a couple more games. We got the Minnesota Twins. The Giants and the Rockies are postponed. So the final game, Minnesota and the White Sox. Minnesota hanging in there. And Julian just keeps rolling along. 1 for 4, he's batting 270, batting leadoff. Royce Lewis, we got the dollar amounts in the chat room for Lewis. Great job, everybody. Thank you. Kirilov, 2 for 5, a run score. So I would say about 16 to 17 is what you have to expect for Royce Lewis. Kenta Maeda went 7 innings. And over on the other side for the White Sox, look, the White Sox, Anderson, Benintendi, Robert, Jimenez, Moncada, and Vaughn. And they've been going with the same lineup game after game. So they're trying to stabilize in Chicago. I will predict that I think they do. Okay? So I think next year we're going to jump back on the Chicago White Sox bandwagon. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Chris Gallo. Thank you, Daniel Ferrara, Danny Fuller. Don't forget, tomorrow we're going to have a lot of fun here. Led by King Hap. Okay. Eddie Ekman tomorrow. James Caprion. Leonard Donaldson. Laura Malpal. Come on. You want to have some fun? Be here tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And Andy and I will be back Sunday with the lady and the legend. Star Dog, SM King Turd, Tommy Johnson, Triple Play. Woo! And look at all those guests. A wonderful day today in the chat room, just like always. And we thank you all very much. And on behalf of the Roto Lady, we love you all. Thank you, everybody. Here's the phone number. Why do you need the phone number? Well, let's put it this way. Nobody has ever said that they need it, okay? I have only said, here it is. All right? It is right now, coming up. Here you go. All right, get me a scoop. Get that ready, and we'll see you tomorrow. And Mom is doing fine. Thank you, Chris Gallo. Everybody's doing fine. And happy anniversary to Chris Gallo. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow. And if you want to coach me, come on. I need you. Tell me what I could do better. Tell me what I could do, what I'm doing that's not so great. Can't get it, okay? Should be okay. Have a good weekend, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning. I can't figure out if I'm... Oh, because it's the phone.
Oh, you're still on?